This summer's transfer window will go down in history as one of the best ever, mainly down to how two of the greatest footballer of all time have moved clubs. Jack Grealish became the most expensive English player ever. A future England legend failed to force through a transfer, and almost £200 million was offered on a single player whose contract runs out in 2022. The COVID pandemic was expected to have a major effect on this season's transfer window due to how many clubs experienced financial difficulty because of it. However, at most top-flight clubs around Europe, this does not appear to be the case. Although hundreds of millions were spent, other big money signings almost went ahead too. Here are 5 players who were expected to leave this summer for significant amounts yet remain at their current clubs. After signing Romelu Lukaku for £97.5 million and seemingly solving their goal-scoring issues, Chelsea turned their attention to bringing in another central defender. Sevilla's Jules Koundé was their main target, but the Blues could never reach an agreement with the Spanish side to sign the defender. The France international agreed personal terms with Thomas Tuchel's side, but he was not allowed to leave Sevilla unless the release clause in his contract was triggered £77m. Which is £27 million more than the Blues were willing to pay. Chelsea secured Saul Niguez on a loan to buy from Atletico Madrid on deadline day, which was their priority for depth purposes. Maybe they will dip back into the La Liga and pick up Koundé next year. It is no secret that Kylian Mbappe wanted to leave Paris Saint-Germain this summer, especially after the signing of Lionel Messi pushed him out of the limelight. The French forward is only contracted to Les Parisiens for another year, but that didn't put off Real Madrid, who put 2 eye-watering offers on the table for the 22-year-old Euro 150m and €200 million. PSG may live to regret not accepting such significant offers. But if Mbappe, Messi and Neymar can help them finally win the Champions League, then all will be forgotten. Who did you expect to leave this summer? Have your say in the comments section. Another player who was keen to move and unwilling to sign a contract extension is Wolves' Adama Traoré. The Spanish winger, renowned for his pace and power, is valued at £50 million by Wolves, but were unwilling to negotiate when former manager Nuno Espirito Santo, now of Spurs, came knocking. Traoré, 25, scored twice and assisted twice in 37 appearances last season, and if he improved his end product, then he could easily improve upon those figures. Talks broke down between Wolves and Spurs on deadline day, and consequently, the Barcelona Academy product remains at the Molineux Stadium until January, at least. After 17 years at Tottenham Hotspur, Harry Kane decided this summer that he wanted to go and fulfill his ambition of winning silverware. But, to put it simply, Chairman Daniel Levy said no. Manchester City saw Kane as the perfect replacement for Sergio Aguero, who left for Barcelona this summer, and were willing to pay £100 million for his services. However, Levy valued the England captain north of £160 million, so despite Kane's best efforts to force through a transfer, he remains a Tottenham Hotspur player. The 28-year-old accepted his fate last week in a social media post addressing what happened over the summer and committing his future to Spurs, until next season anyway. Most big European clubs were linked with a move for Borussia Dortmund's Erling Haaland this summer. But the Norwegian striker remains at the Signal Iduna Park for the rest of the season, when Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo eventually retire. Haaland is seen as one of the most likely players to step up and become one of the best players in the world. The 21-year-old scored 27 goals in 28 appearances in the Bundesliga last season, and he has continued the new campaign in the same form with 3 goals and 2 assists in 3 appearances. Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, and PSG were all rumored to be preparing significant bids for the striker over the past few months, but nothing ever truly came together. Next year, Haaland will have a release clause of £68 million become active in his contract, which will inevitably attract interest from numerous clubs that are able to cope with his and his agent's wages and fees.